Hello, everyone. Welcome to Marriage and Relationship Matters. My name is Don Riches. On Marriage and Relationship Matters, we talk about marriage and relationships. We talk about the problems in marriages. We talk about the problems in relationships, and we bring in people who are experienced to talk about the things or the topics that we have. And if you're out there and you're having any problem in your marriage or relationship, before you quit, please talk to us. Just send us a message. If you send us a message, send a message to the WhatsApp number on the screen, and we'll reply you. We'll put your message or your problem online. We'll tell it to some people. We won't put your name, and the people will reply, and we'll talk about it. We'll post it that we don't know you, but you will know it's your problem, or you will know that we're talking about you, but your spouse or the other person may not know, but you will understand. What we're trying to do is to make sure that, what we're trying to do is to help people put up, what we're trying to do is to put marriages together and help marriages stay together and relationships stay together. Then we have three people. We are actually supposed to be four. We have three women and one man. The man is not on now. We don't know if he's going to come. His name is Gerald Metaway, and he's written a book on marriage and relationship. The first one he wrote is titled Finding a Spouse. That is the book, Finding a Spouse. I can't really get it here, but I think I'll put it online later. Then the next one, the second one is Saving Your Marriage. It's going to release the books this August, and then we're going to be telling you more about it. We'll get him to the studio to talk more about it. So now we have three people who are here who are going to talk about the topic we have today is what are you going to do, or what can a man, or things, the topic is things a woman can do to stop a man from cheating. Is there anything that a woman can do to stop a man from cheating? We have three people here. We have three women, beautiful women, matured women, experienced women to talk about this. The first person is Mrs. Blossom Royal. She's here to talk about it. And then we have Abigail Omoduvier. And then we have Susan Manjoro in South Africa. So we have the two people. Blossom is in Lagos, Abigail is in Delta State of Sabah, and then Susan is in Johannesburg, is in Cape Town, South Africa. So let's go. We need to go right now. Who is going to start? Madam Blossom,
Okay,
please
maybe.
start. Yeah, please tell us a little
Okay,
bit about yourself and chip in something about the topic.
okay. Ladies and gentlemen, my name is Blossom Royal. I'm actually the CEO of Blossom Royal Emporium, a fashion outfit based in Lagos. I'm into music, talks, and fashion, actually. I'm here to talk about what a woman can do to stop a man from cheating. The major thing a woman can do to stop her man from cheating is to have a good prayer life and to trust God for her man. In fact, women cannot even do up to 80% or even 40% of whatever it is that can make a man to stop cheating. Just trust your husband. Just love him. Just leave the rest. Trust him, love him, do your part, leave the rest to God. And one of the few things you can do is you have to start by understanding romance. You have to know that this is the major food for the man. The major food for a man is inside a woman. You have to understand the value of romance, the value of respect, the value of understanding yourself, having a good courage. If you don't know yourself, if you have not discovered yourself, if you have no good courage, in fact, when a man discovered you are empty up there, your actions will make a man disconnect himself from you. In fact, it is actually something that God saw. It's not actually that easy for a man to really love, but he can lust. But I think it is your character and your attitude, your courage and your packaging that is going to keep a man there when he comes. And one of the things you need to do is to be a giver indeed. You have to be selfless. You have to be yourself, no pretense at all in anything that has to do with your life. And you must be neat within you. You can't be a woman who is not always bathing at night, who does not understand what it means to have proper hygiene, and you want a man to come. No, there are many fishes in the ocean. And if the fish that a man has caught, which he has kept in his house for his own personal use, is smelling, there's no way he will like to continue visiting that place. That very altar is not a place where a man would like to visit when it is smelling and stinking. So a woman should just have a good, proper hygiene. That is where the miracle begins. Apart from your prayer life, have a good, you must be very hygienic. Then, secondly, you must have good respect for him. Don't always argue over things. Do what you know is right, be yourself. And don't discourage him from being a blessing to his own family. He came from somewhere, and you must not discourage him from giving to his family. If I'm a man and my wife discourages me from giving to my family, that love I have for her might even drop. Understand that he's also going to help you. He's also going to be available to support your own family. And so you cannot just expect a man to throw away a whole family that God has given him all his life, that where he was brought up from, everything that has to do with himself and his life. He came from somewhere. He has a source. And that source is already connected to you the moment you become a wife, because you're no longer going to answer your father's name. You are going to drop your father's name and pick up his own son name. So everything that has to do with his family, please support him by not being covetous, by not being too stingy on his own people, and wanting your own people to always be there for him to support. These things can actually make a man to just walk backward from you. But if you want a man to stop cheating, just be loving, do your best, be a working class woman in your own way, be hardworking. In fact, you need to be a giver for a man to stay with you and stop cheating. If you are always demanding and demanding and demanding from a man, there's no way you are going to make him happy to stay with you. There must be something that is going to attract him. You must be so distinct. There must be something so unique coming from you that will make a man to stay. They are not wired to stay in one place. A man is not wired to stay in one place. We can see the examples from the Bible. Even Abraham, or even you can imagine a whole Solomon that the Bible calls the wisest man. How many women? 300 concubines, 700. So if you want to make him your own personal property, he needs peace. Give a man peace, so that whenever he goes out, whenever he remembers home, he will be rushing down to his house to come and meet his wife, who is ready to give him everything he desires. We are not saying that women need to be perfect 100%. We just have to be ourselves and do our best. Have enough love within us and just give him heaven on earth. Women are like flowers. When you enter a church, you see flowers on the altar. The altar is decorated everywhere. It's smelling with good fragrance. Nobody wants to go to a place that is not looking so good. So just make sure that you keep yourself beautiful all the time for him. Good. This is my little contribution. I hope it makes sense.
Yes, it makes sense. Don't worry, Blossom. We're going to come back to you. I'm going to ask you questions based on what you said. Now, let's listen to Madam Abigail. Then we'll listen to Madam Susan. Please just introduce yourself and throw some light on the things you think a woman can do to stop a man from cheating. Then after you, then Susan will say something. Then, it's not concluded. You can still think of some other things that you forgot. We'll still give you another chance to talk. So, Abigail, please go ahead.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Abigail Maduvie. I'm the CEO of GameMedric. I'm a teens coach, and I'm also a realtor. So, what a woman can do to stop her man from cheating. I believe every man wants a woman that is submissive. Every man wants a woman that is loyal. Every man wants a woman that is kind, a woman that is neat, a woman that is feminine, and a woman that is sexy also. So when a man has a woman that is submissive, that listens, that is not giving him headache, I think the man will be contented and want to stay. When a man has a woman that is loyal to him, I think the man will want to stay. Like she said, we need to pray. Prayer is very important. Being a praying woman can help you keep your man, because there are women that have done all of this, and without the help of God, their men are still looking elsewhere. So prayer is very key in this. Committing the man into the hands of God is very key in this. But truly, a man wants a woman that is submissive, a woman that respects him, a woman that is clean. Cleanliness is very key. There are some women that they possess all these other qualities, but they are dirty. And when I mean dirty, I'm talking in terms of the home, not just your body. Not just your body. Some women are clean outside, but inside they are dirty. Because a man wants to come to a clean and a serene environment. When the house is dirty, everywhere is looking unkept. Even when you are clean as a person, maybe you look good, you smell nice, it's going to be a turn off for the man. So I think every man wants to come to a clean house. Again, men loves food. If you are a good cook, you cook well, and you know what your man or your husband loves, is a plus. Man always wants to come back to you. So, like my mom will say, is the quickest and the easiest way to a man's heart. So we should not overemphasize the need of you being a good cook, and also not just being a good cook, knowing what your man loves to eat. Then again, a man loves a woman that treats him very nice. Very nice. And when I say nice, you understand him. When he's happy, you know. When he's not happy, you know. That is, you are accommodating. You know what to do at the right time. It keeps a man coming back to you. And also, I want to chip in a wise word from a wise person. The book of Proverbs chapter 31 verse 10, Dan says that a capable wife, a virtuous woman who can find. Being a virtuous woman is worth more than you being pretty, having a pretty face, having a good body, and not knowing who you are. Because firstly, you have to know who you are for somebody else to be attracted to you. Like she talked about being confident, knowing yourself. When you know yourself, you love yourself, then you can be able to take care of somebody else. And again, I would say a woman does not have the ability to love a man. A woman only has the ability to respect a man. And men love a woman, respects them. So in talking about keeping a man, firstly, we have to know how to respect these men in our lives. If we know how to respect them, we are loyal, we are submissive, and we add prayer to it, then you are good to go. I think that will make a man keep coming back to you.
Beautiful. Thank you so much, Abigail. Well, thank you so much, Blossom. Well, now let's listen to Susan in Cape Town. Please introduce yourself and throw some light on what you are the things that a woman can do to stop a man from cheating.
Hello, everyone. Like you heard, my name is Susan Manjoro. I'm in South Africa. I'm currently in Cape Town, but I'm based in Johannesburg. What I can say is women, we need to just stay in our lane. What happens is when a man was created by God, he was given a mandate. And if we are oblivious of this mandate, that's when we push them away. And the mandate is that I've created for you a suitable helper. That is our job description in a marriage. We are just a suitable helper. So we are more of an extension of his, such that if we want to stop this cheating and anything that goes against what our hearts desires from his behavior. We just have to go back to the drawing board and see the expectations that God has put in a man from a woman, that she must be a suitable helper. So most women, we lose it when we take our earthly qualifications or the jobs that we do out there, and everything that we have achieved on our own, we bring them home. And obviously, we start to belittle the man by making him feel unworthy, and we attack his self-worthiness. And because it's something that is self-ordained in him, he has to go out and look for it. So I think it's basic. Our role as women is to know that we are the second class citizen in this setup. He was created first, and we were created to close the gap that God found we need to close. So once we lose sight of that, that gap still has to be closed. So a man will look out for someone else. It's simple. It's as simple as that. So we just need to be submissive. We need to be prayerful, because the devil is busy, and we need to make sure the kitchen is well looked after, that the man eats and he eats what he wants and what he loves doing. We must take our time in the kitchen, and we must always make sure, like everyone is saying, our bodies and our homes are clean. And we need to understand that their roles are not only with us. Some have got roles in the community, some have roles in the society, some have roles in the family, very responsible roles. And like the helper that we are meant to be, we need to partake our part in the roles, in the various roles that they play in the spheres that they influence. So once we do all of that, it will be so difficult for them to look for other options, unless it's a real demon. But a normal man who we know God has created, if all these facets are addressed, honestly, there's no doubt that they will not look elsewhere. So we are the peddlers of the canoe. That's how I feel it. We are the peddlers of this canoe. We must pedal it in the right direction. And once we do everything that we are expected to do to make the man complete, I don't see any normal man looking outside, because everything that he desires, all the needs that he wants are being addressed at home. So I think women, let's try our best to do everything that we are discussing on this forum, so that we can avoid a situation where we get hurt at the end. Thank you.
Yeah, good. Now let me start with Madam Blossom. In all the things that you said, you did not mention anything about sex. Or let me just, what is cheating? Can you please define cheating? All of you, three of you will need to define cheating, first of all. Can you define cheating? Because you've spoken very well, but then what does a woman consider cheating?
I think cheating is when you pay attention to another woman in the area of the emotional, in the area of your emotions more than your wife.
Okay, good.
That's cheating.
That's cheating. Okay.
Even if you are chatting with a woman, you never kissed her, you didn't touch her, but you are having some romantic chat with her. That's cheating.
Good. Okay.
That's cheating, sir.
Good. Let's look at it this way. Now, where does sex come in? Because most times, all we say when a man goes out and meets another woman and sleeps with her, he has cheated. That's one thing. Now, all of you didn't say anything about sex. Don't you think that sex plays a role in this? Can stop a man?
I said something about it. It.
Okay, could you please repeat?
Yes, I did.
Okay. What did you say about
said a woman needs to be romantic, and should be able to give him his correct food, the food that he needs. A man is wired in two different directions. The food that was prepared to him by God, which is in the woman, and the physical food which we prepare and everybody eats. So a woman should be able to understand that what a man considered before coming into her life or before making her a choice, it's just not one or two things alone. It has to do with character, attitude, being able to sustain him emotionally. So if you are ready to be called a wife, you should also be ready to give him your body whenever he desires you. But it can actually be on a mutual agreement, because if a man desires me every minute, that means he wants to kill me then. So everything has to be on a mutual agreement. So you should just have what we call faith in your man, and you should always be ready to give him what he needs at the right time. Be presentable enough to be appealing. You can't cook a good food and serve in a very dirty plate. You can't cook a good food and serve in. You can't just put too much salt in your soup. So balance everything that has to do with your own personal emotions for your man, because you want that marriage to last. And there are so many women all over the world, they are even more than the men. But if a man is ready to spend his life with a woman, everything he desires, he should be able to find all of them in one woman.
Hmm.
In fact, I can vividly tell you that the task that is ahead of women, they are really much, honestly. A lot of rules, a lot of laws for the woman to keep, it's actually so much. And I don't think that men can keep half of it. I think that God has created us as a special breed. First, we were created inside Adam. Secondly, we were created outside Adam. So I think that when God created us the second time, which is outside Adam, that was when he fortified us to be able to absorb any kind of thing. The test to pass is too much for the woman. But by the grace of God, by the time we involve the Holy Spirit, by the time we involve the little intelligence God has given us, by the time we involve love, by the time we involve patience, by the time we involve God, we'll be able to meet up with it. Sex is very important. In fact, if you are not available to give your husband your body, you are not married, you are not ready to be married. That is the first thing a man is looking for. After which he is looking for food. Then after that, he will now remember respect and other things. So sex is very important. Without sex, even all of us here will not be here, because our parents had sex with their own spouses. That's why we're here.
That's
So it's actually something people want to ignore, but it's actually something we should be able to understand, that there is no need to ignore it. That's the fact.
good.
It's a fact. The woman should be up and doing in that area.
Thank
And
you.
some women used to deny their husbands of sex when they had quarrels and all that. You are pushing him out. Oh, you are really pushing him out. Your love for him, everything that has to do with your love for him, actually has nothing to do with his offenses. It has nothing to do with his offenses. Just have that mutual understanding between you and your spouse, so that you don't deny him sex when you are not
Yeah,
supposed to deny him sex. If you
good. But you
do,
said,
he
yeah,
will go out. And if he goes out, don't blame him.
good. But you said
Yeah.
something now that if he wants it every day, every day, every day, he wants to kill you, you will not. So what if he's the person, or this is
I
the kind of
think
person that wants it all the time?
on a
What do you
mutual
do?
agreement.
No,
On a mutual agreement.
assuming he wants it more than you do, and sometimes he wants it and you're not ready. What would you do?
Then I can use wisdom. I can just sweet talk him into not doing that. But I shouldn't do it. I shouldn't let it land us into maybe disagreements or quarrels. I mean, I think there is enough magic in words. There is enough sweetness in our words that we can use words to blend some other things. Yeah.
You're right. You're right. Okay, let's go to. Thank you so much, Madam Blossom. Let's go to Madam Susan. You didn't say anything about sex and all the things that you said. Let's see what sex, the role that sex has to do with this. Can good sex stop the man from cheating? Or let's hear from you, please.
Thank you. I think I would define sex in two ways. The first one is it's a glue that keeps people together. And how we can make it a glue is on how we treat it. If we make it a glue, it will be a glue. But if you don't make it a glue, then it won't be a glue. However, it's an issue that I see in the second form that I'm going to explain. that it's like the cherry on top. You know, when you eat ice cream and you put a cherry, that's sex. Most women, we lose it because we make the sexual countenance a time to be a nuisance, because we are getting his attention and it's time to be a nuisance, and forget the primary goals of this mating. So I think we need to give it its due and due attention, and show the men that you are really in, and you really mean making it work through that through the sexual interaction. And I also feel that the more you engage and make it, like I said, it's a cherry on top. I don't believe that sex starts in the bedroom. I believe sex starts when you're not together. And what you do when you're not together will determine what happens when you're together. If you are communicative, if you look out for each other, and if you show each other affection, regardless where the other one is, then you are two terrains merging into one road, and eventually you are going to make it work, and have the sexual life that you so desire. So it's every creation's desire to have sex. I think one thing that we need to understand is that God created animals, and animals don't talk. They don't say I love you, but we see them mating. So we have been given a bit of an advantage as human beings, that we can actually even do it better. We say we talk. So we all know, I think we all agree with me, that we've been given an advantage over all creation, that we can express and talk. Animals don't talk, but they still love each other. They still love. They still express love. But to us, we use the talking to destroy the love. That's why there is a lot of animosity on with human beings. So what I'm saying in a nutshell is, make sure you engage the man and engage him until he gives up on any other thing. That's what I think. And yeah, that's what I feel. It's our duty as women to make sure that we do our ultimate best to make it work sexually. Thank you.
You didn't say it. What do you mean? What do you mean by engaging? You say engage him how?
Uh, in brief, I would say tie the man down, get him to work in bed, get him to work, and when he works, you won't have the energy to do anything else. That's what I think.
Okay, I think so. Okay, now good. Now that's from Susan. Now let's hear from Abigail. You didn't talk about sex. What can you say about that? Hello, Abigail. Oh, I think she's blanked out. Hello, hello. I think the network is
Network is
not where
terrible.
she is. Yes. Okay, Madam Blossom. Okay, yeah, she's back. Abigail, let's hear from you.
Yeah, yeah, the network. The network is
Yeah, I know.
terrible.
I know. I know.
Me? Okay.
So,
So,
okay.
talking about sex, you you asked a question on sex, right?
Yes.
Okay. Sex is very important in a relationship or a marriage or a union. And I believe sex is good when there is good communication. And that's why you see that in some relationship, you see the couples are together, but sexually they are not attracted to each other. So for one to keep a woman to keep her spouse is very understands her man sexual needs and desires, and knows how to meet them. So you can't rule out sex. But for one to have good sexual relationship with a spouse or a partner, they must.
Okay, I think she's still having issues now. Blossom, I want to start with you on this.
Be
Let
good
me ask you
communication.
this. Okay, I think your network is still breaking, but I think we've gotten you. But Blossom, let me ask you, please, this question. Somebody
Okay.
sent, yeah, somebody sent a question saying that her um her wife or his wife does not allow him. Thank you, Abigail. We've gotten that. I think your network is breaking, but we got what you said. Now, his wife, a man sending a message saying that his wife does not allow him to have the sex with her. So, as a matter of fact, he needs to tell her 1 week before, and they start counting dates. And when it gets to that 7th date, the 7th day, she wouldn't come into the room. He will need to go force, and that is because. What do you think is the cost of that? Anyway, what do
The
you think is the
woman,
cost?
the woman has given him rules to follow. The woman has given him rules to follow in order to have her, and that's a little bit of an error. I hope he has not made a certain mistake that has distanced his wife from him. And I hope he is not somebody who is never satisfied, who is always asking and never satisfied. Because when a woman is tired of a man like that, that is where you can see something like that taking place. So, sex is actually very sweet, and that is why even the present youths, they overuse it. We don't have a limit except for those that have self-control. So, and I hope that the woman is not hot and trying to get back at him. There could be some certain reasons why this is taking place. Either she's hot and she's trying to get back at him indirectly, she's not ready to say exactly what it is that is making her feel bad or hot. And I hope she's not trying to make sure that she reduces his excessive sex drive. Otherwise, what will make a woman not to want her own man? And I hope she is not in another relationship and pretending to still be in her own relationship, because there are so many factors that could contribute to this. And let me say something before I round up. Sometimes men offend women, and in this part of the world, Africa, women are not given the chance to actually say their mind. They are not sometimes having the opportunity to say exactly how they feel when they are hurt. There are so many rules that women need to obey. So sometimes when it becomes too much, a woman can just swallow everything and just keep everything to herself and then find a means of having her own little freedom.
Good.
So
Thank
I hope that with these few things I've said, you could pick up some few reasons why she's doing that.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Now, um, Madam Susan, what do you think could be the cost of that? Because they may be listening, the man may be listening to, we don't talk about their names. That's what we're saying. If you have any marriage or relationship problem, send it to us. We'll talk about it and let the others, intervene. I mean, the advice they will give. Eventually, we're going to put this one online so that people will watch. When you watch, you could see your problem there and see what advice they gave. So please send in the any problem you have before you end the relationship. Send in the problem so that people will talk about it. Now, Susan, what do you think about what we just said?
I would want to understand further with how you say it is happening between this couple.
The man
If
said,
I heard you, if I heard you correctly, you said the man has to make a booking
yes,
for him to get his rights, his
yeah,
his 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 marital rights. I'm sure they're married.
yeah,
Already that's a deal breaker. A man does not have to beg for sex. And then a man does not need an itinerary for sex. That's not interesting. The woman has already lost. Sorry. Yeah. So
Yeah,
the
go ahead.
woman the woman has principally lost the game. She doesn't have the gift of the game if she has to ask the man. Actually, the setup is wrong. She's the one who has to determine when he has sex and how, and she has to make a booking. So she's actually belittling herself and reducing herself to a street girl because she has sex when she wants and where and how she wants. So already she's actually in less competition. The street girl is better. So if that man goes out, honestly, who blames him if he's getting that from his woman that he has brought in the house? So this negotiation aspect to have sex already is a deal breaker. So I think this man really needs help because he's not even supposed to negotiate and discuss sex. Actually, it's something that does not have to be discussed. It happens naturally. So it means the affection is dead between the two. They don't have feelings for each other. Or let me say, the one who's giving the diary and the itinerary is out of the game.
Now, Abigail, let's come to you. Are you ready? Now, because the man said it's continued for they've been married for about five years, and since they got married, he can count the number of times they had sex. As a matter of fact, he said in a month it's difficult. It could be like in 3 months they will have it once. So, what will you tell the man to do? Let's start with Blossom. I was waiting for Abigail, but she's not there. What do you think the man should do? Or what do you think the woman should do? He said that he thinks that the problem is that the woman does not like sex at all. And I know that,
Okay.
and I know that some women are frigid. So in that instance, so I asked if if he thinks that the woman loves him, or if he thinks that the woman does not love him. He said he feels that the woman loves him, but the fact is that she hates it. So what would you
Okay.
advise the man to do, and what would you advise a woman to do?
Okay.
Abigail,
The
did you
thing
hear
is
me?
that
Okay, go ahead, Blossom.
And come again. Come again.
A
Come
man,
again with the question, please.
a man has been married for some time, for up to 5 years, and it's not, he can count the number of times he had sex with his wife. He said the wife doesn't like it. He needs to plead and cajole before they even have it. The man is tired. Now, what would you advise the man to do? And what would you advise the woman to do? Can you hear me? Did you hear me? Okay.
My network
Let's
is
go.
really bad.
Okay, just hold on. Okay, so can you talk now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, now go ahead. But did you hear what I said? Did you hear the question?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't get the question. The network went off.
Okay, now the man is having problems with the wife. They've been married for about 5 years,
Okay.
but he said he can count the number of times they had sex. He said the woman doesn't like it at all. So he needs to plead, cajole, and beg before he will even have it. Now, the man is tired. What would you advise the man to do, and what would you advise the woman to do? You may be listening.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. For the woman, sometimes it might be because the woman is maybe the man is doing something that the woman does not like. The man might be doing something that the woman does not like. There is a turn off or a red flag to the woman. Or it might be that the woman is no longer in love with the man.
It has nothing to do with love, because from the first day it was like that. They didn't do anything before marriage. They didn't do anything before marriage. After the marriage started.
Then that goes to show that maybe the man needs to do more when it comes to sex. Maybe the woman is not really the type that loves sex. There are people that don't really like sex. So the man has to do more when it comes to making
So
the
what's
woman want.
how? What is he going to? What should he do? Now let's go.
Okay.
Let's go.
The
Go.
man needs to know the woman's love language, the things that make her ticks. Every woman has it. There might be some things you do that will make the woman want to put the woman in the mood for sex. So the man has to learn. He has to learn more about the woman.
Okay.
He needs to ask the woman questions. They need to communicate more.
Okay.
Definitely, there must be something that turns her on. There must be something that she likes that will put her in that mood to want to have sex with him. So the man has to learn more by asking questions. They have to have better communication.
Okay, good. Now, Blossom, what would you say to that?
Okay, I think the man they need to go for some marriage class. They need to involve experts in marriage mentorship. There are few churches that do that before wedding takes place. She needs to be tutored on the things she's supposed to expect in her marriage, especially coming from the emotional angle. And let's call a spade a spade. If she wasn't ready to marry, she shouldn't marry. And if you are ready to marry a man, then understand what it is that is involved. So there's no way you can stab a man. Otherwise, don't bother marrying him. If you marry him and you are stabbing him, you are punishing him. He's wired. God created him in a different angle. So that's punishment. She doesn't like sex, then why is she getting married? Let's face it, that's the truth. So, okay, I can't even advise him to pick up quarrels or whatever, but at least let him help her now by engaging her with women or people who are involved in talks related to family and emotions, so that she can be tutored, probably by her books, to read and understand what she needs to do. She's lagging behind in that angle. She needs to know it. It's as good as when a person, I remember some years back, one of my husband's friend brought the newly married wife to my house. She spent 1 month with me, and he begged that I should help teach her how to cook soup, that she doesn't know how to cook soup. So she spent a month in my house learning how to cook different dishes, different kinds of soups. And at the end of the day, he became happy again. You see? So he said whenever he comes, the way he likes what I cook and the kind of food we serve him whenever he visits. I said, but you are not supposed to make such a statement at all. Thank God you didn't make such a statement in your wife's presence. So at the end of the day, I told him, send her to me. She spent a month with me. And at the end of the day, she understood what it means, how to cook soup. You see? So if a woman can learn how to cook soup because her husband is not happy she's not cooking well, then a woman can also learn the ethics of sex and emotions. She should learn so that she can satisfy her husband. If she's not ready to satisfy her husband, honestly speaking, she should not blame him when he goes out to get satisfaction from other women. You see, this is one of the major reasons why a man cheats. When a woman is not ready to do what she is supposed to do to help him emotionally, which is one of the reasons, not just the reason, one of the major reasons why she's there, then what is she doing there? So if he truly loves her, then she needs to be tutored on that. Thank you.
Good. Now, Madam Susan, let's hear from you.
I think I listened well and I understood. Correct me if I'm wrong. I understood you said he knew from the beginning. So, in my opinion, he sold himself short. I'm not sympathizing with him.
No, they did not cut. They did not cut. They just got married. They did not have anything sexually before they got married. They are believers,
Oh, okay.
they believe that, yeah. And then after marriage, he discovered this. Now he's in trouble. So what would you advise the man to do, or the woman to do?
I think he needs to go. They both need to go to a sex therapist, not knowing what their their financial capacity is, I'm sure you would know. It would be nice for them to go to a sex therapist and get help.
Okay.
This situation really needs experts, because for a woman, honestly, to give such conditions, she needs help. This is really beyond us on this forum. She needs help.
Okay, good. Now let's look at this. Now, is it with this thing that happened? Is it better? I mean, a lot of people believe that it's better that you do not need to. Okay, I mean, meet before marriage. From your experiences, do you think it's best to meet and get to know each other sexually, understand each other sexually before marriage, or do you think it's better not to? Or that you do it after marriage? You understand what I mean?
Yes.
Yes. Do you think so?
No, I do not think so. Because when it comes to sex and emotions, everything it takes for each party to meet up with the demands is already in them from creation. God created all humans like that, and some of these gifts are already in us. Just like you don't teach a child how to suck breast when a child is born, you know? So I do not think so. I don't think so at all. So my advice is that they must not engage. We are trying to see that this present youth now does not get rotten, because everybody is practicing sex before marriage now, which is a very big error. And the world may run out of control, may lose control of the present youths if this thing is not if this thing is not if they are not if we don't warn the present generation of youths to abstain from sex before marriage. So there will be no need. It's just we need you need to understand some certain level of emotions in a person you are dating, even if you have not slept with her. You need to you need to know when somebody is going to be romantic and when somebody is not going to be romantic, especially from a man's angle. You know, there must be some small traces of that which will make you know that this person is going to satisfy you. It has a lot to do with the words we speak. Like I used to say, talk good word to people. Good word is healing. So if you engage your fiancé in some certain emotional expressions, that should be able to keep the relationship going. Then when you get married, you can now begin to have sex as much as you like. So a man who is intelligent should be able to know a woman who is romantic when he sees one, vice versa. But engaging in sex before marriage, no. So that the world will not get rotten the more. Yeah.
Yeah, Abigail, what can you say about it?
Okay, like I'll tell our opinion. I don't think I want to encourage sex before marriage. And like she said, from the way you relate with somebody, from the way you behave around somebody, you can be able to tell to an extent if the person will be romantic.
Sorry,
So you don't have to engage in.
Are you saying you want to discourage or encourage?
But there's something my mom used to say. My mom would say, if you want to know how somebody will treat you when you are married, you look at the way the person treats people around them. A man that is loving and caring, from the way he behaves, from the way he interacts with a woman, the woman can be able to tell that this person is loving, this person is caring, this person can be this or that. Same for a woman too. A man can be able to tell if this woman is going to be.
Network is poor. So, well, let's go to Susan so that we can round up soon. Hello, Susan.
Yes, I'm here.
Yeah, so what's your take? Is it good? So, I mean, Blossom is saying that it's better to. Okay, now she's back. Okay, Abigail, continue. So, what you're saying is it's better to abstain
Can you hear me? Okay, you can hear me now.
Yes. Are you saying
Hello?
that it's better not to do it before,
Okay.
or
They shouldn't do it before. They shouldn't do it before. It's
okay?
better to wait.
But that is the problem this man is having. They did
Like I
it
said
before, and
before.
that's the problem. Yeah.
No. The problem he's having is that he didn't pay attention to the woman he was with. Because from talking to her, from the way she behaves around him, when it comes to sexual, when they start discussing sexual issues, you know, things that have to do with emotions and all of that, he would have been able to know that this person is not into sex. If they had good commitment before marriage, they won't be having this problem. Maybe they avoided that area of sex. A lot of Christians, in their Christian courtship, they don't talk about sex. I don't know if you understand what I'm saying. They don't talk about sex. If they've discussed about it before, then you know they'll be able to know if sex that.
Okay.
So they didn't communicate properly about sex before marriage.
Yes. Yes. Okay, but let me throw some light into this. You see, I think that this man is having some problems because they did not have it. And I think it's better to have it before marriage so that you know. Now, the things that both of you are talking, you're talking about the Christian, you're talking about what the Christian or what Christianity teaches. But you forget that then, when this thing was being said, those women were virgins. If you meet a woman that is a virgin, anything you give her, she accepts. But all the women, or 99.9% of women that are out there right now, are already virgins. And so they've tested it out there. You can't take it back. That's my take now. You can't take it back to how it was 2,000 years ago. When I know that 60 years ago, you need some, and even now, in some part of the Middle East, you need to bring out this white cloth and prove that this girl was a virgin or is a virgin and married. But that is not what it is now. So if you didn't have it, and that's what I told this guy, because you didn't have it, you're having this issue. If you had had it, you would not be having this issue. As a matter of fact, you wouldn't have married this woman, and it wouldn't be in this mess. So both of you are, of course, trying to defend your faith, but for me, I think it is best. People out there, it is best for you to do it before marriage. If the woman says she's a virgin, good. You can leave her and not go and not try with her. Because anything you give her, she will take. That's my belief. But if a woman has already tested it with 2 or 3, 4, 5 men, she's tried different people and she knows how she wants it, and then she marries you, you didn't do it, and then you're not doing it the way the other guy is doing it, or the way the other guy was doing it, she's gonna go out with the guy. So that's why I believe that it's better to know if you're sexually compatible, you stay. If you're not, you better leave. Susan, what do you have to say about it?
In my opinion, I think this thing we call civilization has a lot of negative impacts on our being is people, mostly Africans. Because what I know, like, I will give an example of my culture. I was listening and following through, and I could actually connect the dots, and I now understood why they came up with that in my own culture. But as we get civilized, like, I would say no, I cannot do that because this culture is making me subject too much to the opposite sex, and I'm still young. So these are the challenges this is the kind of resistance that we're giving to this part of our culture. I will explain.
Sorry, hold on,
please.
There's one noise coming up from any of the around you there. I think there's music on the background or something.
Yeah.
So please put it up there. Okay, go ahead.
When a girl, in my culture, I'll give you the background, and then I'll make you understand why I say it's actually.
That noise is still on. Abigail, could you
I
please
think
check?
it's not from me.
Huh?
Are you not recording?
Of course, it's recording here, but I can edit later. Okay, there is a noise that's coming from somewhere. I don't know. Abigail, please check your background.
No, it's not me. There's no noise here.
Sorry, it's not me either.
Okay, stop then. You stop now. So go ahead.
Okay, so I was trying to explain this process so that you understand where I'm coming from. So when a girl starts menstruating, when there's a group of women who are trusted to her womanhood. So the task is to teach her what menstruation means and the biological meaning of menstruation and the physical changes that the girl has to go through, and the sexual lessons start then. I know it's not very common in Western Africa, but in Southern Africa, it's a very predominant culture. Not all the cultures do. So as they train you, they are teaching you to be a very active person in that aspect. I'm saying sexually. There are so many things that you do that I cannot obviously discuss here. But they are molding you and fashioning you to be a woman who understands that you are going into a marriage for sex and you are going into a marriage to make it work sexually. Failure is not an option. So, however, the civilization, like going to school, has made us resist that culture, thinking, why would our parents and our culture indoctrinate us to behave like we are tools for marriage? Because women these days, we are very, very independent, and we want to have an opinion which we think we have been deprived of, and we start to trigger all these things that our culture used to have. So honestly, with the situation obtaining that we have just discussed here for this couple, it shows that there was no pre-education of this woman's role or her sexual moves or her sexual ability, her sexual capacity, her sexual attitude, and her embracing the sexual culture. It's non-existent. That's why I'm saying this culture that we all shunned is actually a good culture. So I think as we progress, we need to draw a line between civilization and our culture. Some of the things we need to take with and wouldn't be having the problems that this couple is having if we could actually strike a balance between civilization and our own culture. I think that's what I wanted to say. That let's decolonize our mind in thinking that if you are sexually enticing your men, you are loose, or you are being you are play, you are lying, you are playing low. No, I think we need to work on the mind as women as well. We need to have the proper mindset and attitude towards this whole thing, because some of the things we do, or the attitudes we come with, are the ones that obviously turn men away. let I think let's be the woman that he desires you to be. Find out, you go out of your way to find out what he really likes and try to be that. That's what I think.
Thank you
Thank
so
you.
much. Yeah, thank you so much. I think we need to come to an end. I just want you to chip in one or two words because it's just about an hour right now so that we end. Abigail, please, could you please send one or two lines to people out there and tell the women out there what to do to help a man conclusively? Just conclude. Abigail. The network. Okay, let's hear from
That's
Susan.
so fast left.
Yes.
Okay,
Let's.
I'll make it short enough to remain attractive and long enough to remain essential.
Okay.
I would say women, we are gifted to make to give taste to the flavor of the relationship. So we also have to take a pen and write how the relationship is going. So we need to change a lot of our attitudes and stay in our lane, like I said earlier. Thank you.
Yeah, that's good. Now, Abigail, we're rounding up. We just have a couple of minutes. Just throw in some conclusive, just conclude. I mean, advise the women out there in one or two lines. Abigail, can you hear me? Hello, Blossom, are you back? Welcome back, Blossom. Can you hear me?
I'm back. Yeah, I
Okay,
can hear
good.
you,
Now,
sir.
yeah, good. Sorry, we're rounding up now. I just want you to please just tell the people out there one or two words. Talk to the women, talk to the men. In conclusion.
Okay, sir. So in conclusion, my advice is that when a man loves a woman, he should just learn to understand that we are the weaker vessel. The woman is the weaker vessel. Flow with a woman with good understanding and be yourself also as a man. Say exactly what you want and have it done. So long as it's not something bad, follow your wife up with good understanding and maturity, and never lose your temper on her so that you will not dent the love you have for her and then weaken her faith in you. Everything will be all right if you can groom your own wife. She is your property, she bears your name. You need to groom her to your taste. That's the advice I have for the man. And for the woman, have faith in yourself. Learn to learn new things in relationships, in marriage and love and general life. Never stop learning, never stop believing in yourself, never stop looking good, and never stop being kind. Because there is one thing that is going to make a woman very beautiful and very acceptable before her own very husband and other people, and it has a lot to do with being kind. Being kind and having good understanding and applying patience. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Madam Blessing, Blossom. Now, Abigail, Madam Abigail, can you hear me?
I can.
Okay,
I can
please,
hear
just
you.
round up. Just round up. Talk to the people. Just tell the women out there and the men out there one or two lines of advice, please.
Okay, for the men, I would say they should learn to love patiently because it's the man that have the ability and the capability to love a woman. They should love them patiently. Tell the woman in your life what you want, how you want to be loved. Because most times we love people the way we want to love. But when we love people the way they want to be loved, then there will be no error in it. Tell the woman what you want, how you want to be loved. And also for the women too, I would advise that they learn to love their husbands the way the husbands want to be loved. Ask questions. And in areas where you feel you are lacking, like in the case of that woman that is not allowing the husband to have sex with her, she has to work on her own self too. Because nobody knows everything. Marriage or relationship is a learning process, it's a school of no graduation. So you keep learning, new things. You ask questions, you learn, you adjust, and by so doing, at the end of the day, everything will be beautiful. So the women have to and love the men the way the men want to be loved. And the men also should love the women the way the women wants to be loved. Thank you.
Well, I want to thank all of you. I want to thank Madam Blossom, Madam Susan, and Madam Abigail. I appreciate you. And I pray that, I beg that you will come again. Whenever I ask you to plead with you to come in, you will come in and talk to people again. And for you out there, please, you've heard them, do the best that you can to keep your marriage working or relationship working. You send us a message, send a message to the number on the screen. It's a WhatsApp number. Just send a message, whatever problem you have. Before you end that relationship, before you end that marriage, talk to us. We'll bring it out here, and we're not going to mention your name and have people talk about it, advise you. So this is about time. It's all good today. The same thing, men talked about the same thing, something like that, similar last week. Please go subscribe, check out our channel and see what men said. And now you've seen what women said. Please remember, subscribe to this channel, like, and please share. As you share, you will be helping somebody out take care of his or her relationship. Thank you so much. Until same time next week, I want to say, Blossom, what are you going to say?
Just keep being strong, and in everything you do, remember God.
Thank you very much. And Susan, till same time next week, what do you say to them?
I'll say to all the girls out there, remember you're the flavor of the world. Thank you. Bye.
Good. Good. And Abigail, tell them something.
I would say to the women, learn to love your husbands and stay attractive and stay beautiful. Then for the men, love deeply and patiently.
Okay. Beautiful. So thank you so much. Until same time next week, take care and bye-bye.